One, I have worked or dealt with Paul, and one of the things I know about him, he is an ardent supporter of women projects and initiatives. So Paul, we appreciate you and we welcome you.
Thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I really would like to extend my warm welcome to you this morning and for you joining us for today's Women Investment Breakfast. Specifically, as USC and stock exchanges, we play a critical role in influencing economies, government, and market players. But the reason we do that is because we cut across different industries by having listed companies on the exchange that play a critical role in economic growth. So I would like to extend my warm welcome to you, the ladies. I think this is the second time we are holding a women's breakfast. We had the Ring the Bell for Gender Equality earlier in the year, about 10th of March this year, and where we had a similar setting and discussed matters pivotal in terms of investment, but the future of the nation, because we know women play a critical role in the growth of an economy. Allow me to recognize the ladies in the capital markets. Just to paint a picture that a lot of conversations are this is a men-dominated business, but actually it's not. So allow me to recognize, I don't think Miriam is here from CMA, but we, as the capital markets, really recognize Miriam and her role she's played in the capital markets and the influence she's had. Susan from Crested Capital. Susan, please. Very influential and speak to numerous investors around the industry. Kathy from Crested Capital. Esther, goes without saying. Diane Blair. Christine. I thought I saw Christine. Is Christine around from Chipa? And then I would also like to recognize that we've got listed companies that got CEOs that are women-driven, both from their subsidiaries, but at CFO levels, company secretary, we've got Irene, Rita, Doreen from CIPLA. Rita is from Stanbic Holdings, Irene from New Vision. We go to CFOs, Kate, among others. So this business is actually driven. And then investor relations. Amanda, please. We recognize you too for the role you play. So this year marks the 7th edition for the World Investor Week, an international campaign led by regulators and exchanges in collaboration with the International Organization for Securities Commissions. This campaign aims to raise awareness and emphasize the significance of investor education and protection. Today, as we convene, we align ourselves to this global initiative. On Monday, November 6th, we kicked off the CEO, CFO Investment Forum, and the discussion was quite hearty and interesting. The experiences and working with our theme, the disruption within the market, but also globally. We all know that disruption has come and changed. We had the COVID pandemic, we've had the geopolitics, but we don't do things as we used to. If we look at the number of people who, prior to COVID, Netflix, Prime Videos, you name it. All these have changed the way we consumers utilize the different services out there. Even exchanges as a whole. When we look at our businesses and the companies listed on the exchange, the way they are doing business is no longer the same. They've had to deal with the disruption and the impact of not only global inflation, recession, but the consumer appetite has changed. The way we used to consume products and services prior to COVID has greatly changed, and that has had a big impact on the decisions that are made. Currently at the USC, we approximately have 204,000 investors, and of which 45,274 are women, accounting for 22.1%. I think a warm hand clap would be in order. Women have a big influence over families and decisions we all make, whether men or women. And that influence of nurturing and bringing up the family has a big impact on the decisions that are made. We all know that when it comes to investment, and history has shown, we are quite irrational on the decisions we make. We had a listing recently, 2 days ago. We rang the bell as we admitted Airtel Uganda to the exchange. However, when we looked at the numbers, 4,614 new investors participated in the IPO, compared to the 200,000 we've been speaking to. And we asked ourselves, but why? And yet, during that period, there was a big conversation around Capital Chicken and how people were investing in that initiative that had its challenges in terms of a concept. So the reason we are here is really to hear why we are not able to look at the capital markets and drive this conversation from a women-led initiative to drive growth in these investments. If you want to make returns, you have to take the boring, and I must insist on this, you must take the boring route. Investment is boring. If you want to try to beat the markets and look for other options to make a quick buck, you most likely crash, and that's why I think the markets don't really understand, investors don't really understand the capital markets as a whole. But one way of looking at it is that if you're a fund manager, and we have over 2 million investors in Airtel Uganda that participated under the NSSF investment. But if your fund manager is willing to participate, what are the good things they are looking at? We're speaking with Daisy and asking what are the new initiatives and UBRA and ourselves can work at to improve investment in the market. Because are we going to continue investing in property, which gives an average return of between 4% to 8%, yet you have securities that will give you between 12% and 18%. So the knowledge and the information around the capital markets needs to be disseminated. We need to do a better job. I think we are lagging behind on that front. But I must thank investors, especially post-COVID, of looking into collective investment schemes. The money markets grew from, I think, a tune of about 400 billion to over 1.5 trillion in terms of investments. I think funds under investment in the pension funds are just under 20 trillion. So there is money to invest. So business owners, women-led businesses, if you're looking for capital, the capital markets gives you a different avenue to invest in, and pension funds and institutional investors are quite keen to look for opportunities within that space. I would like to extend our gratitude to our partners who've supported this initiative. That is Stanbic Bank Uganda, MTN Uganda, Umeme Limited, DFCU Limited, Cipla Quality Chemicals, and Capital Markets Authority for enabling us come here. And I also would like to thank you all for filling the room. These days with the disruptions around online opportunities to attend gatherings, it's good to see a room that has been filled, and I would like to thank the ladies for joining us today. I wish you an interesting deliberation with the panelists, and we look forward to continue supporting the capital markets, but supporting the nation in inspiring growth and promoting the future of Uganda as a whole. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul. I think we've had the statistics. I like the bit where he talked about Capital Chicken. I had not heard about Capital Chicken, incidentally, until I started seeing it on Bouquet Day. And then I remembered all the stories growing up. People always said, I don't have money. If there was an investment, people always said, I don't have money. Until we had all these pyramids. There was a circle. What were those things called? Pyramid schemes. Who remembers them? Okay, I won't ask who participated, because I was one of them. Telex Free. Who? Just give us some names. Amazon? Traders. Telex Free? Bitcoin? No, it was OneCoin. Bitcoin is there, but OneCoin. Which other ones? D9. Now, when the police started speaking the statistics, none of these monies was less than, I think, $2 million. And then a woman would come up on TV and she'd say, oh, Sente Bwange, I put in. You'd see a woman even who ordinarily would not afford 2 million or 5 million, she put in 10 million. Okay? Why? Why? Pardon? Quick returns. I think Paul alluded to that. You have to be patient. And that's the theme has that resilience. That's what resilience means. You're not dying tomorrow. Okay? You can invest and wait for the returns and sleep without thinking that chicken are going to disappear. So I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome the industry captains in this space to tell us what they have, to educate us, you know. Many of us, if we have talked to an investment advisor or a financial advisor, they will tell us about asset classes where we can invest. And I know the most attractive is bonds. No, not you. It's certainly not bonds. Land, money lending. What are the quick returns? Apart from the pyramids. Women, ladies, where are we investing? When you start working and get that loan, where do you put it? Pardon? I want under the mattress. Yes, some people put money under the mattress. But I know there is land, that's a booming investment. Okay, where else? I want us to be interactive. We are the women doing these things. I'm going to choose at random and you tell me where you invest your money. There's someone looking at me here. Where do we invest our money? Before I invite the people to tell us where they're going to, where we can put our money. Okay? Anyway, like I said, I would like to take this opportunity to invite the ladies who are the pros in this space who are going to educate us this week about alternative investments for our money. We are going to do it a little differently this time. We had a keynote address, but we said, no, that is so cliche. So we'll just go straight into the panel discussion and listen live Okay? Prepare your questions and ask. And I hope from here, guys, we are still young. I say a lot of this room, over 50% represents the population of this country, i.e. below 30. Okay? And we still have a chance to take advantage of these investments and live a good life. I'd like to invite our panelists. One, Daisy Lydia Navakoza is the Director Supervision and Market Conduct at UBRA. Daisy, please come. Daisy joined UBRA in 2015 and assumed the role of director in 2021. She has trained and acquired expansive experience in financial sector regulation and supervision, corporate governance, risk management, and project strategy and leadership. She's an alumni of the Female Future Program and is a certified board competent. Now, many times when we are reading people's profiles, I know these ladies went to school, but these days we are looking at what have you done in your space. Okay, I once went for a technology conference, and when they were reading out what these people have done, I asked my colleague is also millennial. Are you still called millennials? And I said, but, no, he told me. I was asking him a question, he said, did you hear if any of them studied anything? It's just what they have done, what solutions they have created. So these ladies are not only educated, but they have created solutions, okay? Next, Esther Kakiza. Esther is the general manager at Dare and Blair. She'll also tell us all the things they've done and the solutions. Next is Amanda Bosa Raboni. Amanda is the senior manager, investor relations at MTN. MTN, I know, is the cool kid on the block. And then we have Kate Kiza, executive director, DFCU. That fifth chair is supposed to be mine, but I request to stay here. And I would like to invite someone from USE or Capital Markets. I didn't quite get her name. Please give her a hand clap. I didn't quite get her name, but we requested last minute that since they are our hosts, we needed to hear from them and not just who the people they work with. So my apologies, I didn't get the name. Also apologies that we ambushed you. So please give her another hand clap. It was very last minute. Okay, ladies, I like this setup. Please give them another hand clap. They fought against all odds, against the market odds, because 75% of people do not understand what the capital markets are, okay? And when they do the returns on the calculator, they're like, it's not worth it, until they lose their money in capital chicken, okay? So Daisy would like to go first. Could you please provide an overview on the mandate of UBRA? Who do you regulate, and what message do you have for us? Tell us about UBRA. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. As introduced earlier, Daisy Linda Navakoza is my name, and I work with the Uganda Retirement Benefits Regulatory Authority as the head of supervision and market conduct. So briefly, what UBRA does. UBRA is a government agency that's was established in 2011 to oversee the operation and management of all kinds of retirement products in this space. So I'm hoping the ladies in this room do not belong to a fund of sorts that is like a capital chicken that's not regulated by UBRA. So anything retirement benefits related, if you fall under any class that provides a product, a service that is retirement benefits related, those are the entities that we regulate. So we have schemes. I'm sure all of us know NSSF and many other occupational schemes where we belong, or individual schemes where we belong. And I think I'll speak more into that as we talk about investment. So there are many people who rely just on their fund in NSSF. And they say, I'm waiting for 55 to get my money from NSSF. Do you know how much the average person has in NSSF? On average, of the 2 million savers in NSSF, on average, NSSF is paying out less than 10 million shillings to an exiting member at 55. Yes. 90% of the savers in NSSF have less than 50 million shillings. And you're getting this at 55, and that is your only saving. So when you talk about investments, I think it's a very happy place speaking about investments beyond just that one pocket. What else are we putting our money in? You may ask why. Some employers are not contributing for their members. Some of us are happy that our employer will give us more money today and lie on the pay slip to NSSF saying that they're only putting aside 20,000, 50,000 for you, yet you're getting a higher salary. That's one of the other challenges. But most importantly, there are many people who are not covered under the pension space. And it's, of course, as we work with entities like the Uganda Securities Exchange, is to try and drive out there, for us women especially, because we drive this economy. The future is female, we know, not so? And today is female, so it's not just the future, but today it's very female, because we drive the agenda on very many aspects. Many times when you tap into the females, the women, you have tapped into a whole community, because we speak louder, we spread the word, we share. I don't know how many men are in the room, but many times men do not share this information. I go and invest in Capital Chicken alone because I want to get that carry return alone. But women, I hear about Capital Chicken and I want to drag my whole group along with me to go and also tap in there. So when you tap into the women, you have tapped into a whole community. So I like this, this agenda. So essentially, UBRA does that. We regulate and supervise providers of retirement benefits products. Of course, that has, a lot is covered under that. When you say supervising, we're seeing who is providing what product in this market. Lucky enough, we don't have any Capital Chicken on our side. So who is providing services? What are they doing? How are they selling? If they tell you that we're going to give you a return of 10%, are they actually giving it to you or not? So that's what UBRA does, yeah.
Thank you, Daisy. That was very insightful and educative. Ladies, I hope we are learning. I keep telling my colleagues, if we knew this when we started working 25 years ago, we would be very happy old women. Okay? Amanda. MTN. The cool kid on the block, everywhere you go, there is MTN. ESG is a theme that has taken center stage. By the way, I hope we know ESG because it's another disruption that is happening in the market. Okay, we know what it is. We need to educate ourselves. Amanda, ESG is a theme that has taken center stage in the investment world and is likely to disrupt the way we do business. Which of the ESG components do you think Uganda has an opportunity to leapfrog to the rest of the world?
Thank you very much. Firstly, I am not MTN. I am Amanda Bosaraboni.
No, you're not, sorry if I said, but you represent MTN.
Yes, I do represent
That's
MTN.
what I meant.
Yes, I do. My name is Amanda Bosaraboni, and I've had the privilege of looking after one of the, part of the largest investment schemes we have in this country. I've been able to work. Daisy used to be my regulator in my previous life, and I've been able to do investor relations currently with MTN Uganda, and my passions are around women empowerment and charity events as well. Just a little bit about myself. I'm also a wife and a mother of 3 children. This is a women's event, and I'm proud, really, of those achievements. It's really being able to appreciate ourselves wholesomely as women. That you're able to work, you're able to run a home, you're able to run a small business, you're able to do so many things. So I'm really proud to be here today and also to see all of you here. So in terms of ESG, I feel like as a country, we're already positively moving in that direction, and I feel it's a positive disruption. Gone are the days where businesses would just make profits and then pull out money out of the country and run away. This ESG, which is basically accountability on what are you doing for the environment, what are you doing for society, what are you doing in terms of governance, how transparent and accountable are you to your stakeholders. Really, that's really what's about. Last week, I had an opportunity to attend the FIRE Awards, hosted by the USC as well, the Capital Markets Authority, and we're seeing so many organizations, over 50 organizations showed up to present their annual reports and talk about ESG reporting as a form of brand storytelling. So I feel that so many organizations have taken it up, to showcase who you are, to be as bare as they can with the stakeholders, to see that Uganda is progressively moving forward. I was watching an advert yesterday on TV, seeing Stanbic Bank partnering with East African breweries to plant trees. It seems like a mundane activity, but in the era of climate change, it's a big thing. Socially, we're seeing that at MTN Uganda, for the first time, we have a female CEO, showing that, it can be done. It's a global agenda to drive gender parity. What a woman can do, also a man can do, okay? And at MTN, just last quarter, we're able to achieve 50% parity, that for every 50 women employed in MTN, there's also 50 men. So everyone has an equal opportunity, okay? At still advancing women agendas, I was looking at, still in this quarter, we've been able to, as MTN, introduce what we call advancing women entrepreneurship. So we looked at the statistics, and 7% of our suppliers, for the entire MTN, we spend a lot of money. MTN spends a lot of money in this country. But only 7% of the suppliers were women. And we're like, no, we need to do something. We need to do something where other women are invited to the table to participate in, this value creation. So I note that MTN has cordoned off $4 million specifically for women to participate in in purchasing activities. So you can come and be a supplier for MTN. They've set aside $4 million specifically for women. And we're targeting on having 50 women come on board this year, and at least 250 women on our supply base by 2025. So those are part of the things that we are doing. So in terms of Uganda leapfrogging, to the next level for ESG, I feel like we're already on a journey. We're already there. And just to encourage the women, businesses that are represented in this room, that take charge. Take charge. Investors are looking for these for these metrics. How are you organized as a business? Are you accounting for your finances well? Are you making sure that you have proper leadership in your in your small boards? Are you doing something for the community? I mean, at MTN, we're giving back 1% of all the money that we make back into society, investing in the youth, investing in education, investing in health. That's what people want. That's what makes it a more inclusive and sustainable, agenda. That even if we're able to, perform and, make business as MTN, we're able to give back, to the community. So I feel like generally as a country we're moving, and I feel like we're on the right track.
Obugalo bwa Amanda. By the way, I told you I'm Damali Muchibi. So I find myself dragging into Luganda. That's diversity. So please, embracing diversity. Thank you, Amanda. Ladies, we're not only getting education, we've had even their business opportunities. If you're a lady entrepreneur, please take this chance and be a supplier. Kate is there. I'm sure she'll tell us how they will give you the money to go and supply, so we do not have an excuse. I'll come back to Sarah because she's more of the regulator. Not regulator, but the interconnection. And I'll go to Kate. Kate, financial inclusion has been one of the biggest challenges faced by the SMEs, especially women in sub-Saharan Africa. Access to affordable credit being one of them. So what innovations at DFCU do you think can attract these impact funds, and what can the audience pick or take home from the DFCU? Thank you.
Thank you, Damali. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Some energy from the breakfast, please.
Guys,
Good morning,
energy,
ladies
we
and
had
gentlemen.
breakfast.
That sounds a bit better. So, when you wake up in the morning and you're feeling low and you're feeling, it happens quite a bit to the ladies. I'm sure they will relate a bit better. Apologies, Paul. But you feel low. You have to find yourself. You have to find something that will raise you up. So it starts with you. So when you start and your morning, good morning, then probably that's how the day is going to end. So may I, good morning, ladies. Good morning. That sounds better. So as ladies, what happens is, I think Damali mentioned, no, must have been Daisy. We like pulling each other up. We don't like being loners. So that starts with where we come from, mothers who nurture and, look after all the other people within the home. Without the lady in the home, it won't be as good, it won't be as perfect as it's supposed to be. So the first thing is when you look at the background, our background in Uganda, ladies were, you know where we belonged, the kitchen, eh? At home, you don't work, that side of it. So almost automatically, even when you wanted to do business, you're told what I've given you is what you have. So there's no money. So the whole idea was we have women who are disadvantaged. Women who cannot do business because they don't have the capital. Women who financially, by design, we were meant to be dependent. But how do we pull out of that? So when we come to financial inclusion, the first bit that as DFCU we did was pick up the women, put them together, put them in groups, get to take advantage of the biggest thing that they do perfectly naturally, which is encourage each other. So we started with women in business. In women in business, we have women coming together, sharing different ideas, encouraging each other, but above all, we have access to lending, access to funds. At the moment, if you come through as a women in business person, automatically, you have an automatic discount from the loan that you will get for your business. So it's that part of how do we get together to get the women together and support them through women in business. Yes, Amanda mentioned we have the first CEO in MTN. I think I would proudly say the first executive director, female executive director in DFCU. What do we need to do to support each other? How do we support each other? When Amanda and MTN and all came up with the idea about advancing women entrepreneurs, we partnered with them to say, how do we support those ladies? How do we support them with the funding? So automatically, there is an opportunity, but there is also the enabler for us to participate and partake of that opportunity. That is what Women in Business is about, and that is what will help in accessing affordable credit. If we walk in together with Paul, with my business, and Paul has his, as we start, even if the businesses were the same, I have an automatic discount from the funding that has been provided. We have partners who we work with who have given us the flexibility to also support this agenda. We have European Investment Bank, which says if there is any business where it's done by a woman, we will give them the training, we will give them this. There's so much that can actually be accessed through there. So for the women, the challenge is upon us. What we like doing is, you see me, I'm a woman, this I can't do. Unfortunately, that should not hold you back. Whatever a man can do, a woman can do, as long as it's not biological, of course. Thank you.
Thank you, Kate. Ladies, we've had the saying, "Ugalobwa Kate." Okay, empower a woman, and you've empowered, and generations. Okay, we have seen how women will fight tooth and nail to ensure their children go to school. We've had men and women who say, my mother sold the last cloth on her back to ensure I went to school. So hence the conversation this morning, okay? And we want to appreciate the men. It's not that we don't think about you, but I think Paul said something. Here you will make noise, but when we go home, you will listen. Okay? To your wife, to your partner, to your mother. So that's why there's all this conversation about the women. Next, we have Esther. Esther Kakiza is the general manager at Dan Blair. Esther, you're most welcome. Thank you for making time to come and educate these women. Kindly tell us about Dan Blair, what you do, and also as an investment banker, what do you think are the key reforms that will increase liquidity in the stock exchange? We had the statistics that of the investors, only 22% are women. Why? Yet, when the capital chickens of this world come up, the biggest investors are women. They mentioned about women pulling one another, and Daisy reminded me, I don't know if you guys were still in school, plenty of you, there was one that was called the circle. Anyone remembers the circles? Okay, those circles grew. They were called producing. They would produce like 100 other circles in the same day, 100 children, okay? Money would turn $1 billion just in Kampala in those circles. There was a woman in every circle who brought others. Yet when we get to this conversation, we are slow. So, Esther, tell us, what are we going to do to get these ladies to invest?
Thank you, Damali. My name is Esther Kakiza, General Manager, Dan Blair, Uganda. Dan Blair is an investment house. We are located at Trenzori House We help our investors buy and sell shares. We also offer investment advisory to institutions who are looking for capital, investors who want to offer capital to those institutions. So briefly, that's what we do. Let me start with this story. 3 years back, a certain lady came to Diane Blair. She was a shareholder of Safaricom. She sat on my desk with a share certificate of Safaricom. And she told me, I have these shares. I don't even know why I bought them. But at the time I bought them, there was a long line from your office. From here up to City Square, I saw everyone was rushing. I want to buy Safaricom. I want to buy Safaricom. I just joined the bandwagon and bought Safaricom. I was shocked. I asked her, what's your name? Help me with your ID. I checked her portfolio. Guess what? Her portfolio at that time was worth 24 million Kenyan shillings. That's an equivalent of half a B Ugandan shillings. I was shocked. And I'm like, how did someone invest all this money? Of course, it wasn't half a B at that time. There were capital gains added to it. I was shocked, and I asked myself, how does someone invest all this money without knowing how shares work, without knowing how capital markets work, and they are comfortable seated? And 10 years down the road, that is when they are coming to check on their investment. Anyway, she asked me, how does this thing work? I've not been getting my interest. Again, I was shocked. I was like, interest on shares? She's like, just help me understand this thing. I sat her down. I'm like, this is what you invested at the time you came in. You bought these shares at 5 shillings. At that time, I think Safaricom was trading at 33 Kenyan shillings. I told her, now, this is the price, and this is the market value. She was shocked. It's like, okay, you've told me now that's the market value. I want to know, how do I benefit? I'm like, if you sold these shares right now, this is what you would get. It's like, when can I sell? How? Where? I said, you can sell now, but first fill in my paperwork. I said, okay. She quickly filled in the paperwork. She was really, really happy. And I'm like, madam, hold on. That's not it. You also have dividend. She's like, dividend? What's that? So I had to explain. Guess what? The dividend was worth 5 million Kenyan shillings. And she was leaving that to waste. I told her, after we've sold, please come back. I'll help you claim for your dividends. Why am I asking this? We might be in this room. Some people don't even understand what liquidity is. They don't even understand what a share is. So I'm going to try and make this as simple as I can. Liquidity means how easy can you sell your share without difficulty? How easily can you liquidate your shares? How easily can you buy and sell from a certain counter? We've faced liquidity issues for quite a long time on the Uganda Securities Exchange. One, because people are not aware. We don't know what happens in the capital market space. Some people just buy and hold. Retail participation is really low. So we really need to work hard and educate the masses on how this thing works. We need to educate you women on how this thing works. You're not just going to go and plant trees. We were having a conversation there with Paul, and Paul was saying most people are buying land and planting trees. That's true. We have very many experiences where someone comes and tells you, I bought these shares, but they're not making money. If I had planted my trees 10 years later, I would be very far. We need to educate you that planting trees is good, buying land is good, but buying shares is equally good. The other thing is there's a relationship between between the performance of a company and liquidity on the stock market. Amanda, I think you can agree. If you're generous with those dividends, why not? The liquidity will be there. So if anyone represents any listed company here, your performance also affects the liquidity on the market. Yeah, Damali, that is it from me.
Thank you, Esther. Esther posed a very nice question. Do we know what shares are? We may assume everyone in the room understands these things. By show of hands. Okay, you can put it low so that we don't see if you're shy. We know? We know. Okay, great. We don't know? I see only 2 people who know. We know. Okay, I'll assume we don't know. That's why we are not investing. Okay, so that's why we are here, to educate us. Thank you, Esther. Obugalobwa Esther. Okay, Sarah. Sarah is our host today, ladies and gentlemen. She's among the hosts. Like I said, we ambushed her. We're saying we cannot be seated in the room. You're hosting us and we do not hear from you. So, Sarah, tell us, what do you have in store for us? Because we've heard what all these ladies have. As Uganda Securities Exchange, what do you have? Maybe before that, Sarah is in charge of investor relationship and training. So in case you need any information, she's the right lady. So she'll educate us today about the opportunities available, okay, on your exchange, and how you can encourage the team here to participate. But maybe before Sarah, I wanted to make a comment about something Esther said. Ladies and gentlemen, if we don't know these things, the Dyers and Blairs are there. Walk in and ask. Don't fear. I overheard someone, I won't say who, I overheard someone saying, can I buy shares for this and how? Okay? So the Dyers and Blairs are there. Please walk in. It is okay not to know. It is not okay not to know when you have all these forums and people available to you. Okay? So over to you, Sarah.
Thank you very much. Like she said, my name is Sarah Mudahogora. Yeah, that name. I work with the Uganda Securities Exchange, and I am the Investor Relations and Trainings Officer. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Like she said, I am one of the hosts, and I have the opportunity to welcome you first of all. And I am here basically to educate the women on a few things around the capital markets and the Uganda Securities Exchange. So many women out there do not know so much about the stock exchange, but I believe a good percentage in this room have an idea. So my appeal to every woman who has an idea right here about the stock exchange is to reach out to that other woman, as we also take our role as the stock exchange to train, to reach out. I want to request that everyone in here reaches out to that woman who is putting money in a wrong place, yet we have a very well-organized stock exchange in Uganda, the Uganda Securities Exchange, which is the principal stock exchange in Uganda. So, to the ladies in the house, what you have to take out there is just the basics. Let that woman know that investing in shares or bonds at the Uganda Securities Exchange would be a very big plus for that woman. Let them know that the shares or the bonds they have invested in can be used as collateral out there. they shouldn't tebateekayo nyumba y'abaana. You know, ladies, the home, you take your home as collateral, yet you could have your shares and bonds are used as collateral out there in the banks and every other credit facility you would really want to take up. So we want to change. We want to change the women, and it's our initiative at the Uganda Securities Exchange to do the education. And let's go through a few benefits of investing in the stock exchange, at the stock exchange. Besides using your shares as collateral, it's a source of income in a form of dividends, in form of those interests on the bonds. You come out getting your good dividend as an income for yourself. Do not put the money under the mattress, like someone said. Invest it, and you'll get the returns. But besides getting those returns, you need to be alert as an investor, as a woman. Be alert. Scammers are out there, and women are always a target. Because, you know, women, we listen, eh? We like listening, we give attention to whoever is telling us. So that's why you find that all the scammers have big numbers of women. So we are here to tell you to be alert. How do you be alert? Check our website all the time. Visit our website, Uganda Securities Exchange. It's someone is writing, I realized, www.use.or.ug. So you'll find that information you need on our website all the time. Get involved. Reach out to the licensed stockbrokers. Do not find someone out there and they are telling you they are selling shares. No, check our website for those listed stockbrokers and deal with only those if you want to buy shares or bonds. When you want to invest, do some homework. Do not just rush into things. Do not gamble. Do some homework, do some research. Check this company. Is it licensed? Is it regulated? Look out for the financial statements. Do your homework, check back to back. At least 5 years, and you're like, okay, this is a good company. And once it is regulated, you can invest. So there are few women who really think about investing in shares or bonds, but we want to change the culture from this moment, from this women investor breakfast. I want a woman out there to get out of this place, really change and thinking shares and thinking bonds. And I want to see a woman from today storming the exchange, storming the stockbroker's office, trying to invest, trying to get those shares. They are really affordable. When you analyze, you won't find a share price that is even above 500 UGX. Every share is below that. Shares are really affordable. So, as women, I don't want to say if you have invested in shares or bonds, please raise your hand, because I'll get a few numbers. But if you have done that, a round of applause. Clap for yourselves as I clap for you. So I want us to adopt this culture. One step at a time, we'll get there. Every woman must own shares. Every woman. Participate, involve. They are really affordable. And the benefits are that you can easily liquidate your shares. It's not like you're going to have to hustle for a long time to have your shares liquidated. It's a very, very simple process. It's just a matter of giving your stockbroker that order that you want to sell, and they will sell. They'll sell your shares immediately. So do not think it is something that will be hard for you to liquidate in case you need to. I know all investments have challenges, but the challenges are for every investment. They are not only in the area of stocks. All businesses have challenges, but our challenges in the stock market are really minimal. They are the general ones that you experience out there.
Sound. Could you please rectify her mic?
I had pressed my volume up button and my vocals.
Sorry. Give you this.
Thank you. So I was saying that the challenges that are involved in the investments in the stock markets are just the same challenges you find out there. There's nothing new and really horrible that you're going to meet. You know, sometimes it's hard to get into a new thing if you have never started. But talk to the people who have been there, and you're going to be amazed. It's going to be as easy as that other investment that was fraudulent that you did somewhere. So, and you're going to find a life very genuine and really organized. So how do you invest if you haven't invested? It's easy. You open up a shares account or an SCD account at the Uganda Securities Exchange or any stockbroker. It is free of charge. You can even do it on your phone. You can do it on your phone there. Just go to our website, like I told you. You will go under SCD. You're going to see Easy Portal under services. Then you follow the prompts. SCD, services, Easy Portal. Then you fill in that information. It's like the KYC that we require. Everything you need will be on your phone. You upload the ID. You upload the photo. It is so easy. So stock markets are also markets like any other market. Feel free, they're easy steps. If you're seated there, just check the website and do SCD, services, Easy Portal. Follow the prompts. You have an SCD account already. And tomorrow you'll be having shares. You'll be a shareholder. Does it sound easy to invest in stocks? It's really easy. And when you go there, as we do this campaign, tell someone also how easy that is. Thank you so much, unless there is any other question.
Thank you, Sarah. Ugalobwa Sarah Banang. Louder. Thank you, Sarah. Ladies and gentlemen, part of the disruption that has happened is that you can do everything on your phone. It's not like our days where you had to walk. By the way, before you had to walk to Bank of Uganda. Then after that, now you had to do it with your bank. Take your ID, take photos to open that SCD account. Now it's all on the phone. We have no excuse. That 10K, you heard what she said. These shares are cheap. You can start. I work with young people and I see them buying digital currency all the time. Okay? At 20K, 100, 50, and with time, over a year, they've accumulated so much. Okay, so that spare, I'm not saying do the small money, you can do the bigger one, but start. Okay, the trick is in, the magic is in the starting. Thank you, Sarah. Daisy, I'm coming back to you. Sarah talked about these scammers, these fake fund managers. How did the capital funds of this world, capital chicken, sorry, of this world start? And people are not aware. Where are they running there other than to your fund managers? So my question to you, we've seen different categories of fund managers, including those who just simply manage funds and on behalf of other institutions outside the retirement benefit sphere. So do you regulate these people irrespective of their mandate? Okay. would we say the capital, well, not the capital chickens are certainly not, but how are these regulated? And sorry, why I'm asking this question, to give the investors here comfort. How do I know if I'm walking to this fund manager? Okay, I'm safe.
So, fund managers are actually dual-regulated. We have Capital Markets Authority licensing fund managers in the capital market space. So where you and I can go, you know, for our investment, ordinary investment, or institutions can go for investment. Fund managers, you know, the word may seem very hard, but these are the Pauls of this world, the Amandas, who sit and do the numbers, who sit and research, and they tell us which is the best investment for us. So they're basically investment managers. Their day-to-day is to look at investments out there and see which is the best investment for this person, where I'm sure I'm going to make them money. Because their job is to make money. I don't think there's any fund manager who is there just to place an investment. The idea is I must be making money, because that's how they also make money. So Capital Markets Authority licenses those fund managers. On the retirement benefit side, we then license them for purposes of investing our retirement benefits. So you'll find that there's a fund manager licensed by Capital Markets Authority, and later tells you I'm also licensed by UBRA. Yes, there will be a question about that dual regulation, but the idea is we have different specialties. As much as I'm an investment manager, what is in that investment for me, the person who is retiring, for instance? What kind of risk am I taking for a retiring person as opposed to an individual who simply wants to spread their portfolio over a spectrum? So we currently have 6 licensed fund managers. They are listed on our websites, but I can list them for you. Amanda, which one do I start with? Britam, so Britam, in this case, we're looking at Britam Investments Managers. So you find that most of these are related to insurance companies because of the nature of business. So we have Britam Investment Managers, we have Zeno, we have GenAfrica, Sanlam East Africa Investments, UAP, ICEA Investment Managers, ICEA Lion, I think that is it. There are 6 that are licensed, and all they do on a day-to-day is to place our money somewhere, make sure it is growing, and they're giving us a return. I like when you say, Damali, that why are we not going to these, to these entities? Why are we not going to these entities? They are next to us, they're near us, and they're not that expensive. When Sarah was speaking about this financial education, one of the key issues that we face across the financial sector or financial services sector is that many people do not want to seek the professional services of these professionals. I want to go to my husband. How many of us have our spouses as our Gambanogo in investment knowledge? Someone is giving you, I walk to you and I tell you there's this, investment in Capital Chicken, and your first instinct is, I'll ask my husband. I'll ask my brother. Why can't I just go to these professionals and ask them to guide me? If I went and asked somebody in Britam, in ICA, in Sanlam about Capital Chicken, they'll definitely give me guidance. But if I go to my husband, he's also heard from another man. So he's going to tell me, yes, they're making a lot of money, let's put our money in there. So it's important to seek the services of these professional providers. But also, like Sarah said, the issue of research. We don't want to read. We don't want to look at what is there. Things that USE will have on their website, UBRA will have on their website. Most of these brokers do a lot of research, and they put it out there. It's a matter of just searching. Today there's even things like ChatGPT that you simply go in there and say, just give me basics about shares or basics about, company shareholding. We don't want to look at those things. We simply want the easy way out, and sit at your desk, call somebody and tell them, have you invested in Airtel? Yes, okay, let me put my money in Airtel. You don't know what it's about. You don't know why the share is at that price. What are the considerations in there? What's the future you're looking at? So those are some of the considerations why it's important to look at those professionals. Because one, beyond just being professionals, they are regulated and heavily regulated. If you could talk to Amanda, she'll tell you, while I smile here when I'm dealing with a fund manager, because I know this is 2 million people's money that you're dealing with. We don't joke. When you get in there and you're playing around, it's very easy for someone to come and say, stop even onboarding clients. There are many of those fund managers that you tell them, before you correct this, you shall not onboard another client. So they make sure that they are walking the straight line. And that's why it's important to use those regulated entities. Someone is doing the job for you. Someone is doing the oversight for you. You simply have to walk in and they will guide you. But also have your own information. They're in there to make money. What is in it for you then? Me as a fund manager, I want to make money. Because most of them charge on assets under management. Their fee is charged on assets under management. The more assets I have, the more I will get money. But what is in it for me as Daisy? What is in it for me as, whatever X-limited company? What is in it, there for us? Do we want the short term? Do we want the long term? Do we want to stay there forever? You see that lady like Esther was sharing. She's had shares, Safaricom shares, and she just never cared to know. It's growing, yes, but do you know what is going on with where we are investing? Yeah? These fund managers will also help you in spreading your portfolio, which is another very key important aspect when we look at investing. When Damali was reading my profile and said that I'm an alumnus of Female Futures, there's one thing that strikes me from my time at a Female Futures program. There's a lady called Barbara Katende. I don't know if many of us know her. Yeah. She's written this book about manicure. Money, not the manicure, but money cure. Yes. And there's one aspect that she taught us that has always resonated with me these many years from when I left FFP. One, it's never too late to begin with. But most importantly, have a portfolio that has at least 7 streams of income. If you're sitting in this room and you have 1 stream of income, please, let's rethink that. These fund managers are there to help us in that way. Yeah? I have some money in trees, I have some money in land or real estate, I have some money in shares, I have some money in unit trusts, I have maybe some money under my pillow. I don't encourage that though. So the idea is, where are we drawing our money from? These fund managers do that for you. You walk to a fund manager, they'll help you structure out a portfolio. At whatever amount you have, let's not think that I must have 100 million first for me to have a portfolio. I can have a portfolio at 2 million shillings. I can have a portfolio at 10 million shillings. And I work towards growing that portfolio. But the other good thing that is coming up and the good disruptions coming up, these fund managers are now giving us platforms where we can create our portfolios. You go in there and you say I'm 30. No, I'm not 30. Okay, I am 20. I have just joined MTN. And I want to retire at 45, or I want to retire at 50, and I want to retire when I have 1 billion shillings. That just a system on your phone, on your computer, structures out and tells you if you want to get there, you make sure you're putting in on a monthly basis, this is what you need to be putting in. This is how you should structure out a portfolio for yourself. Fund managers are doing that for us. Yeah? So we should feel free to seek their services, because one, they're thinking beyond the today, they're thinking to, assessing these assets themselves, these investments. I'll share with you a story. And this is a very personal story. I'm one of those women who never had investments in equities. I have always believed that equities are so slow for me. I need those other things that at the end of the year they tell me, you have this amount and I'm happy about it. So I have an investment advisor, Lucky, and just the start of this year he said, venture into equities and see what you can do. Start slowly. So when the Airtel IPO came, we were discussing in office. I have young guys in my office who, when they sit and you tell them, do for me an analysis about this investment, they speak so many words, so much investment, you know, and sometimes you get lost in there. So I tell these two guys, just tell me about Airtel and why I should invest in Airtel. So they gave me a lot of information, the good, the bad. They're looking at what fund managers are saying. They're looking at what the market is saying. So they come to me and they say, okay, because you're a first timer, we would advise that you start not beyond this amount and you start small. Yeah? I'm a regulator and I understand shares, but I've never invested in shares until Airtel came in. And I said, let me take this leap, you know? Let me see what happens. And indeed, I'm looking to see what happens. I hope it's one of those success stories that I won't come. I'll not come and have failed. But the idea is these fund managers are here just to guide us. You don't have to think of them as, you know, for the big people, for the big institutions. The first time I got an investment advisor was somewhere about 7 years ago when I had just joined Ubra. And I got that investment advisor, not for my person, for myself. I needed to understand a space that I was getting into. How do you be a regulator? I'm a lawyer by profession and investment has never been a thing for me. I've always trusted that someone is going to help me. But here I was in a space where I must bring myself and step up. So I got an investment advisor just to give me those neat bits to train me. And ultimately, of course, they turned into my personal advisor. But that's how it starts. Sometimes just to seek information. Sometimes it's you actually want to invest and you want to know about that investment. But those people are actually there and they're there for us. Yeah.
Big Abugalu Banange. Okay, she shared her personal story. It's never too late to start. Wherever we are, whether we are 20 or 30, let's start. They often say the grave is the richest place because it's full of ideas of that died with the people, things that were never done. So let's not be in that category. What I picked from you, Daisy, talking to these young people, Ubra and CMA putting it in the digital language are like the Google Authenticator. Okay, I'm sure we'll resonate with that. Two-step verification. So one thing you're sure is that your money is safe. When she was talking about, check out these people, I remembered when Forex trading. Yes, I was looking for that example. You remember Forex trading? And the statistic the police reported in a period of about maybe 6 months was $6 million from the Ugandan population. And like 90% were women. So where did all that money come from? But when she talked about check out these guys, I remembered one of the traders was in Bugolobi in a house. So people would actually go there, park, go and take their hard-earned money to this guy somewhere, you know, where they were trying to find, where it wasn't even easy to get to. Someone takes their $5,000, $2,000 and gives it to a guy they've never seen because a friend told them about it. So like Daisy said, let's check out these people, okay? They are all here. Amanda, I come back to you. It's been 13 months since the debut of the MTN IPO. What have been some of the impacts of the IPO, the key metrics? Tell us, how has it performed? Do we have statistics on the ladies, if they've actually invested? Is it still a good time to buy the shares, in your opinion? And I'm sure Dan Blair would tell us, or they've already told us how this can be acquired. Yes,
Okay,
Amanda.
thank you. First of all, just a slight correction. We're making 2 years in December this year as a listed company, and I believe it's been a positive journey. It has not translated in share price yet, but we have maintained our commitment to our shareholders. We promised our shareholders that we'll continue to perform well, and for the past 2 years, we have really performed well. And we've been able to give out dividends 5 times. We've paid a total of 587 billion in dividends to our shareholders. And even this year, we aim to give, I think, another 134 billion before Christmas to our shareholders this year. Why do I say that? We have 21,000 shareholders in MTN Uganda. So many of them are women. Actually, interestingly, we have quite a number of children invested in MTN Uganda. And it's just something I wanted to touch on. Women, we are here. How many of us here have children? Okay. As a mother, I know if there's anything women are willing to spend on, it's their children. We will do anything to make sure your child has the best shoe, your child has the best school bag at school. You know, those are the things that make us happy and proud as mothers, okay? When I look through the share list of our 21,000 shareholders, they are children. And when I look at these accounts, most of them are sponsored by their mothers. So it'll be Shalom, Muhwezi, ITF, the mother. In trust for the mother. Why am I highlighting this? There's an opportunity for you to invest on behalf of your children. So many of the speakers here have spoken to shares. I know not so many women are sold into buying shares. Why? Because you feel, like she mentioned, maybe the progression is a bit slow. Maybe you're seeing other companies have not performed and you want your money so quickly. Invest for your children. Your children have a much longer investment horizon. You're buying for 3-year-old shares. In 10 years, when they are going to S1, who knows that money you invested is what's going to pay for their school fees at that time. So look at it that way. Let's be forward thinking. Women are naturally planners. Buy shares. Buy shares for your children. They are safe. It's a way of diversification from all these other deals that we're chasing. And currently, where MTN is right now with the share price, it's an opportunity for you to buy right now. Why? Because it's a bit lower from where the share price we listed that as. This is an opportunity for you to be, a resilient investor, an investor who is full of knowledge. You're able to plan. There's this term flying around called planned kids. Why don't you want your child to be a planned kid? If you are not a planned kid, why don't you give your child an opportunity? Why don't you give your child a head start in life? Okay? So these words that we're throwing around, planned kid, you're not a planned kid, make your child a planned kid, Invest. You're in this forum for a reason. You've had all this knowledge. Let it not go to waste. The minimum you can invest is 50,000. 50,000. I know all of us here in this room, we can afford 50K. Because you're going to go to Java's and buy a meal and, the 50K is done. But you can invest in the future for your children. If you yourself, you're not interested in buying the shares for yourself, buy for the next generation to benefit from them. So just to conclude, it's been a positive run for us for the 2 years for MTN. We've been able to perform. We've been able to give back to our shareholders in form of dividend. And we are positive that as the Ugandan market continues to appreciate stock markets and also appreciate company performance translating into share price, we'll be able to see that translating into positive capital appreciation growth, which is good. I'll just give an example as my last statement. I look at a company like Ubeme. 10 years ago. When they listed at, I think, 275 shillings. After factoring in the discounts, it came to about 250. Right now, they've been paying dividends over the years. And right now, I think their share price is at like 440, 450. We've seen that capital share appreciation. You might think that it's just 200 shillings more, but if you're keeping money, if you're creating a safety net, if you're creating several income streams, if you're looking at a much longer investment horizon, who knows? I mean, okay, maybe the Mweme is closing soon, but who knows for MTN? We'll be here for 20 years. Who knows what the share price will be in 20 years? And who will be there to enjoy those benefits? If not you, do it for your children. Thank you.
Thank you, Amanda. Guys, we cannot say we were not told, really. Many years from now, and you're still in the same position where you were, you cannot say you didn't know. It would be a sin. I'm sure even God wouldn't be happy. Thank you, Amanda. Kate. Your closing remarks. I was going to ask something, but I think you handled it about the women. Tell us, what would you call upon these ladies to do? Yes.
Thank you. Once again, for the women, what DFCU has done is we have women in business. It's a separate office. If you walk to our office, you walk to our head office branch, there's a separate section. We have a Women in Business Advisory Council. That advisory council has women who have done business, women who will be there to mentor you, women who will be there to walk the journey of entrepreneurship with you as we liberate ourselves from and progress into prospective women, and we prosper in business. The other addition I would like to add is that savings is an interesting thing. Like this lady, that time, the lady that Esther mentioned about, she probably didn't have that much money. If you had asked her to do anything, to invest anything, she would have said, no, I can't make it, I don't have the money. Savings is very interesting, that it grows. Get into your investment clubs. Let that money get saved. If you save 50K per month out of your salary, just forego that CJ's lunch with your buddies that day, and that month put aside the 50K. Find something to invest it in. You'll be amazed at how much it grows. When we talk about the bonds, one time in an investment club where I belong to, we attended, one fast back. Every Friday evening, the last Friday of the month, we have an investment club discussion. We have different panelists. It's free. You come in, you listen. It's a Zoom call. Well, COVID did it, the positives. You don't have to move somewhere. Previously, we had a gathering. Now you don't have to get into a gathering. All you need to make sure is you have your data. Once you have data, then you can be able to link in. So that session we attended, the person who presented looked at the different investment options and talked about the return on investment. We were thinking about the same people that Paul talked about. If it's not land, you plant trees, it's property. Can I do rentals? We looked at it with the person in that session, analyzed how much return in the end will I have made from that investment. How many years will it take to pay back what I invested in? Just to mention, we got out the proposal that we had to buy the property and everything. It just stopped there. We went into bonds. if you do a longer term bond, even government bonds, you'll be amazed at how much you make, the coupon rate that they keep paying. And if you do long term, some of those have reduced tax rates. Some of them have very, very low tax rates. So let's not wait for, when I set up a business, is when I'll go to DFCU for the women in business loans. Start now with a little saving. Start now by talking to any of the other colleagues. Just the final comment is from Ubra. I first got into a Provident scheme about 20, probably 25 or so years ago. Almost mandated. If you had given me a choice, I would have told you no, give me my money, I know how best to plan for it. But we went there, and slowly, the amount of money you put aside, the company also put aside the equivalent for you. By the time we're done with all the regulations, with all the learnings that we get from the investment advisors, the investment managers and all, it's amazing how much that grows. The important part is start today. Even if you have your savings account, separate it from your normal account. Just come to DFCU and ask for a savings option. Every month, take off a fixed amount. Just count it as not part of your money. When you earn today, there's money that has to go to URA. That's not yours. But imagine if you did half of what goes to URA, put it aside for the rainy day. How much would it grow? Thank you.
That was a very small hand clap. I want to think that breakfast is still working. Thank you, Kate. I'll make a disclaimer. I have a very soft spot for women in business and investment clubs because I am their mother or grandmother. And from DFCU, I did them in 2007. Don't count theirs. This gray hair is real. But Kate said something very important. If you cannot save by yourself, if you don't have that discipline, especially for young people, please join an investment club. How many of us are part of investment clubs? I see some hands. Please join an investment club. And if you can't invest, if you think your money is too little, get your club to invest in any of the options they've talked about. It's absolutely important. I am testimony to that. I retired at 40. Okay, retired. I still work. But you understand? And it's because I learned this knowledge from the women in business. These are programs. Okay? And I even still think, I keep thinking, if I was more deliberate, the picture would have even been better. So it is not a myth, it is real. Esther, as you give us your closing remarks, the just concluded Airtel IPO was subscribed at about 45%, I think. Why do you think that happened?
Wait a say.
Sorry? Maybe you can educate us.
That's a hard one.
Okay, just give us a view. Maybe you may know it's too soon. Maybe just give us an overview. Why did it not meet the expectations? Do we need more education? We can ask a few people here, why didn't you subscribe? Maybe they'll give us the answers. Over to you, Esther.
I can see Catherine and Susan are looking at me with a bad eye, but without pointing fingers. Paul talked about this whole awareness problem that we've been facing as a market. It's still big, and unless we solve that equation, we are not going to talk about the hard stuff. I believe as market participants, we needed to have marketed this IPO more. I remember when MTN was listing, I had a conversation. I was lucky enough to have a conversation with the CEO then, Wim. He sat me down and said, Esther, anything that would even make a farmer down there, deep in the village, to buy a share in MTN, I will do. Anything that will make you convince that person deep down in the village to buy a share in MTN, I will do that something for you. So I think we needed to have gone big on marketing, be more aggressive, market well, educating our masses, what shares are, how they benefit, and what is in it for them. The second reason would be the offer was sold, but without Airtel money. I speak for Di and Blair. Most of our investors didn't find the offer that attractive. I believe if it had Airtel money on it, it would have been more attractive. I don't know the reasons why they chose to give us the offer without Airtel money, but it would have been more attractive if Airtel money was part of it. The third reason is institutions contribute a lot to successes of these IPOs. As we were marketing it, we saw that most of these institutions were not keen on buying. Yet they're the market movers. We should sit down as an industry and find out why these institutions opted to buy in the secondary market than come in at IPO. Lastly, I want to congratulate Airtel for the milestone reached. And undersubscription doesn't mean it's a bad company. It's still a good company. We have learned a lot from them. I really congratulate them and congratulate all market participants upon the milestone. Thank you.
Thank you, Esther. Thank you. As we conclude, I'd like, before I come to Sarah, given she's our host, I don't know, as a regulator, do you have any concluding remarks for us? It can be 1 minute, one word.
It can never be one word from a lawyer. But also, let me just share this story first. I was at a women's conference Tuesday this week, yes. And one of the things they said is that women, we must always be our own cheerleaders. And if you're ever given a microphone, make sure you will cheerlead yourself at whatever instance. So you cannot give a woman a microphone and tell them one word. Because women, we really will outspeak ourselves.
I take that back.
I want to share two particular perspectives. One from the regulatory side, but one as just a note to us women. It's really a personal note. From the regulatory side, really, I would advise that one, like we've said, seek those opportunities, but also research about them. I could speak to the issue of the Airtel IPO. Why? Another reason why it may have had an undersubscription. Who knows the current yield on bonds? 10-year bond yield right now is about 16%. If I'm going to make 16%, and you're not giving me Airtel money, I'm not certain, I'll put my money in the 10-year bond because I'm assured of that 16% coupon coming in. The yields have been very, very good on government bonds, that they have outsmarted most of the other investments. And that could be another reason why you find, for many people, they're looking to see what is government, seeking in the market. Usually, many investors wait for June because government usually brings out very good bonds around, that last quarter. because you want to finish the financial year, pay off obligations, and the yields are very good. And Airtel came in just after that, where most people have already invested extensively in government bonds that are giving very good returns. That could be another. But why I'm making that point is the opportunities are there, but have we researched about them? Do we know what is available in the space, in our investment space, to guide us, to also, guide the way we are structuring our portfolio? So key in investing and saving in whatever nature is researching and reading about your investment, but also looking at the long term. There are many of us who are investing for tomorrow. The long term doesn't even have to be 30 years. Long term can even be 10 years. In the next 10 years, if I've looked at my past 10 years, where do I want to be in the next 10 years? That should also guide our investments, and not rushing about investments. Let Amanda not just come and say, invest, and say, yes, where, now. Take your time, be patient. Also, your instincts also matter. Women, we have very, very good instincts. Your instincts matter. If you see something is not really flowing, it's not coming to you naturally, then take your time, be patient. There'll always be opportunities. That is on the investment side. On a personal level, and something I'm very, very passionate about, as we talk about investment, as we talk about saving, there's one aspect that we always leave out, especially us women. Who knows that aspect? What happens to your hard-earned saving and money if you're gone? We're not writing wills, we're not preparing the people we are leaving with the hard work that we are putting in today. And like Damali said, the grave is very rich because I'm going to go to my grave, I didn't prepare, I've saved up, I've invested, and the day they bury me, they are fighting over my assets. Why? I did not put that end point. I did not put the full stop to my investments. I did not prepare for what happens if I'm not there. So I want to encourage us, and here I'm very passionate because I do a lot of trainings for estate planning, and for us women, statistics have showed we always fear. It's like when they say write a will, you start saying, Daisy, do you think I'm dying tomorrow? I've known people who have written wills and died 20 years after they wrote their wills. Please write your will and put all this hard work down to what happens. I really believe that a person who does not write a will is extremely responsible. And I think women, we are more than responsible. So as you invest, as you work towards saving, also look at that aspect. Let it not die with you. Let it go to, good use. Your hard time and your money should go to some good use when you're not there. Those are my passing shots.
That's a nice topic. How many don't have wills? How many don't have? Please put up your hand. How many don't have wills? I would like to think of someone is putting up their hand like this. How many don't have wills? All of us. Why? Because we think we are young. We've seen young people die. And what happens to their money?
Just let me share with you something that a law professor told me when we were leaving law school. And he was telling us about writing wills. And everyone said, I'm 21, I write a will to distribute what? Because we believe wills are only for distribution, right? And he said, but you have your law books, you've been buying book of jurisprudence, you've bought some red volume somewhere, you've been in a library reading these volumes. If you die tomorrow, the rats will take them. So at the very least, start with those basic things. But most importantly, the will is to just put your wishes, on record. What are your wishes? Put that on record. Please put that on record.
I think I agree agree with me that today we've got more than we bargained for. We came for investment knowledge. We were given business opportunities. Now we're even hearing about wills. Another very big topic for the ladies. So obugalo bwa Daisy. Okay, we're coming to the end of this panel discussion, but before that, Sarah, kindly give us a closing remark from US.
Thank you, Damali. Thank you, Damali. My last remarks will be that as the exchange, we are continually available to support, to educate, and to see that a woman out there invests better and bigger. So we even have trainings coming up. We have prepared so many programs and arrangements to see that we empower you, we equip you to be ready to invest even more than you're doing right now. We have an ESG training that is coming up. It's a master class. It's an opportunity for you as a woman to participate. It is very affordable, only 2,470,000. And right here, before I leave, I'll have you registered. It's really affordable, and it's this month, 29th November to 1st December. So do not go away before you register with me. You need to learn more, and we are here for you as the exchange. We have other programs even for the little ones, your babies, during their holidays. Call us. We shall have arrangements to have your children educated. We have programs for them that will help them learn the capital markets. And by the time they are of age, you'll be a proud parent of an investor that you raised yourself with our support. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sarah. When Sarah said 2,700,000 and what I had, Mama, how much do we put in Capital Chicken? Ventures, minimum 5 million. Now this is to educate you, but guys also, we've had the disruptions. In Luganda there's a saying, Emkisagisanga yetegese. Who didn't understand that? Anyone? Can someone tell us what it means? Omkisagusanga yetegese. I'm going to pick someone at random, the beautiful lady in navy blue over there. What does that mean?
Blessings come to those who are ready.
She said blessings come to those who are ready. Opportunity. Sorry? Opportunity meets the prepared. The ESG she's talking about, if you went to study it from another university online, how much would you be paying? Not less than $1,000. But guess what? It will get your foot into a door. I'm in financial advisory. Part of what we do, we raise capital, and it's the first topic any investor, any funder will ask about. So we'll come and profile you and make you ESG compliant. Okay? So please, mwetege. You know? I like the Luganda version, mwetege, by investing in yourself. Thank you, ladies. A round of applause for these ladies. We have had, they have an open door. Please walk in. If you don't get what you want, walk back. Okay? Be that wise card investor that at the end of the day will get what they want. So thank you, ladies. Thank you for sparing time to come and share your knowledge. We wish you all the best as we work together to change our country. Can we please give them another round of applause? Did we enjoy that session? Did we learn? Are we going to invest? Not in Capital Chicken. Okay, please go get your money out of the Capital Chickens of this world and let's do proper, responsible investing. Okay? As we close, sorry, we are some minutes late. As we close, would like to take this opportunity to thank our sponsors, MTN Uganda, Stanbic Holdings, Umeme, DFCU Holding, Capital Markets, Cipla, Quality Chemicals. If you notice, the similarity in all these is that they are participating in these markets. So they thought it important to educate you. And last but not least, would like to thank USE for taking out time, resources also. I'm sure none of us is paying for our breakfast to ensure that we have this knowledge. Let's make use of the opportunity. And I'm going to invite Jacinta from the Legal and Compliance Manager at USE to give us closing remarks. Jacinta, please come. However, before I hand over the mic, because she'll be the last speaker, we have heard. No? We have learned. Let us go and preach the word. Many of us are in some of us are in our personal capacity, but others are representing institutions. Okay? Let's go preach this word to our institutions. So I'd like to recognize some of the companies here. When I mention your company, your Kalulu, Wekubira Kalulu, we had Daisy said, blow your trumpet, be your cheerleader. Okay, why save? Investment Clubs Association of Uganda. Ooh, I'm the grandmother of that. Be Money Wiser. I think I saw them here. Carol, welcome. Vision Group. We'll see who has the smallest Kalulu. Meaning the Stanbic, SBG Securities, DFCU Bank. DFCU Bank. Not just Kalulu. Put up your hands as well. Okay, I think Kate left, but there was also a team. Vision Fund Uganda. Vision Fund Uganda. Cheer yourselves. Okay, Finance Trust Bank. Where are we? Okay, there's a gift for the winner of the cheerleaders. Finca Uganda. Finca Uganda. DFC, okay, I've mentioned, I think that was Salam Bank. Salam Bank. Obugalobwa Salam Bank. Mengo Hospital. Girls Up Initiative Uganda. SB Securities, okay, that should be Crested Capital. Wow, those had the most breakfasts. Diane Blair. Oh, Cheaper Technologies. Sewa. Sewa. I would like to read it in full before Mrs. Bogere. Here's the abbreviation. Council for Economic Empowerment for Women of Africa. Where are we, Sewa? Okay. Katosi Skilling Center. Makerere University Business School. Opportunity Bank. Opportunity. Show some muscle. Wazalendo Sacco. URA Staff Circle. Wow. Sam's Food Industries. Where is that little Kalulu? It can be bigger. Oh, she even stood up. A hand clap for her. And Case Medical Clinic. Why we are particularly recognizing you is that you have taken steps. You have made an effort to play in this area, to support women in your organizations. Temujango. We had empower a woman and you have empowered a nation. So let's go out and preach the word and make this place a better place to be. We want to be like Mrs. Bogere. When we are retired, we are contributing to people who want help, okay, and we are leaving the impact that we would like to. So Jacinta, over to you. Jacinta will also give us the closing remarks and we'll close. Thank you.
Thank you, Damani. Wow. I think I want to start by asking all of us to clap for ourselves. And once again, I don't know if it's still morning. Yes, good morning, ladies. Good morning, ladies. Good morning. And gentlemen. And gentlemen, good morning. Good morning to everyone. Wow, this has been a really, really exciting session, and I hope you can all agree with me. There's been a lot to learn. There's been a lot to share. There's been a lot to laugh about, at least for myself. And I hope the rest of us have been entertained as well. I think there's nothing as interesting as, should I say, a lecture, a class, or a lesson, which is fun, which is exciting, and also informative. So I'd like to start by thanking our panelists. Specifically, I'd like to thank Daisy, Amanda, our very own Sarah, Esther, and Kate, who has now left. I think we need to give them a louder round of applause. Indeed, this is a women's breakfast, and it's very, very, very beautiful to have ladies on the panel sharing with us their unique experiences from their very unique field. And I think we've learned a lot. I'd like to thank them very much for taking the time to come and share with us, you know, away from your very busy schedules, and just really taking the time to share your experiences with us. We don't take that for granted. And I think what stood out for me is the 22% statistic of women entrepreneurs in the business, women investors. And I think that's a takeaway for many of us from here. You know, what can we do as women, and you know, what can we do to push those numbers higher so that we can do better and push investment forward. But maybe on a lighter note, I think also one of the speakers emphasized that the future is female and today is female. That will remain with me. It will definitely remain with me, because as we leave this place, what are we doing? You know, what are we doing to push investment forward? What are we doing for ourselves as women in the place, women in our workplaces, in our homes, and in our different areas? What are we doing to invest, to do better, you know? And I think that has really been the purpose of this breakfast, really to share all that information. I also noticed that throughout the discussion that we are having, the Capital Chicken kept on coming up. And I think the jokes aside, it's a learning opportunity for us. And I think what we should pick from this breakfast has been the information is there, the information is available. Let's exploit those opportunities. Let's approach those individuals. Let's approach those investment funds. Let's approach the Uganda Securities Exchange, of course. The information is there. Let's not be victims of fraudulent transactions, but also let's invest, let's challenge ourselves, let's access that information, and let's use it wisely. I think maybe just lastly, the theme has been closing the gender gap and addressing issues of gender parity and advancing women entrepreneurship. I think the panelists, in everything that they said, that was really the point, and I'd like all of us to take that to be our take home as we go back to our offices and to our different engagements. It's never too late to start, and I think that will be my last remark. So as we walk out of here, it's never too late to start. But of course, it would be unfair for me to stand here and not remind you, Uganda Securities Exchange is open. Please, we are available for all your investment advisory, but also where we can inform you. And my colleague Sarah also talked about the ESG training. You had the amount, but I want to assure you that it is worth it. And we'd like to see you. Our doors are open. We are located at Nakawa Business Park, the 4th floor of Block A. Please come. Let's continue to interact. Let's continue to push investment and let's continue with these disruptions because we're in the new age and we should be eager to explore these opportunities. Lastly, I would like to give a special thank you to Damali for driving us for the past, 3-4 hours. Damali, thank you very much. I'd like to say you have managed us very well. You've made us laugh, you've kept us in check, and you've entertained us. So thank you so much, Damali. We do appreciate your time and your effort. And yeah, for the ladies in the room, let's continue. It's never too late to start. Thank you very much. Oh. At Damali's request, she has asked that I wish you all a lovely rest of the day, rest of the afternoon, and the rest of the week. Yeah, thank you.